Love, 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 love. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our first webinar on BODs, being our divine selves. So that was Gary Lynn Floyd that you've been listening to all week, and he's also on this program with us, and it's a gorgeous song, and I was just so happy to have it all week. I want to give you a few things to do here. I've taken care of everybody being muted so that we're not all talking, and cameras should all be muted, and all that stuff is already taken care of. So there is a chat function, and I would like you all to just chat to me right now. Just say hello, just type in hello to me so that I can see that you all actually know how to do this. Okay, Nancy, hi, hi. Nancy got that really fast. Bonnie, hello. That must be Bonnie Cahoon. Hello, very good. Okay, I'm just looking. Some of you are probably on your phones. If you're on your phones, it's probably not as easy, or maybe you can't even find the chat. But throughout, Juana, hello there, James. Mama's phone, hi. Hello, Connie. So I'm going to be able to interact with you as we go through this, this whole webinar here today. So if you look on the screen, you're going to see a quote there. I am on my way and feel unstoppable. That just came on the blog today, I believe, or yesterday. And I was really moved by the blog that I read, and it was all about, this is what's been coming up for me, this is what I've done, and now I really feel like it's working. And I believe that that is true for all of us. So the first thing I want to do today is go to, not that one. I want to start with our intentions. So we started this week with our intentions, and each one of us laid down a gauntlet and said, okay, this is what I want to get. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to get out of this program. And here are some of the things that came up for everybody. I want to feel fit in my body. I want my husband to look at me that way again. I loved when I read that one. I want my husband to look at me that way again. I think most of us could really relate to that. To love myself as never before. To stand in front of a mirror and not cringe. And you know what's funny about that? I think almost everyone stands in front of the mirror and cringes. I think the most beautiful people on earth stand in front of mirrors and cringe because what they focus on first is that part of them that they want to change. And I think none of us are any different. Release old images and embrace new ones. Now, I want to say something about that. The images that we need to release are mental. It's not the images that we're actually looking at, but they are mental images. And embrace new ones means to become a mental equivalent of what we want to look like. And I know that Lori said that she wants to look good in family pictures, that she's just over when pictures are being taken, that she hates the way she looks. Tired of Weight Watchers. I know that was Karen who said she's been on Weight Watchers for 150 years. And that she keeps losing a pound, then gaining a pound, and losing 2 pounds, and gaining 3 pounds, and that seesaw, she's just had it with that. I totally get it. And she said nothing really changes. And the reason why nothing really changes is because change comes from within. It comes from the mind. We can keep playing around with all of these numbers and figures, but until we really get in there and check our mind, we can't really check our weight. Lose the weight, the clutter, and my body and my mind. And I love that whoever wrote that really got it, that in fact, it's not just about losing the weight and the clutter of your body. In fact, you have to lose it in your mind first. Another person, it's time for me to love and respect my body. Pain-free. I loved this, and I think this was John. Pain-free. Free of allergies, more energy, let go of belly fat, effective digestive system. Stop seeing myself through the eyes of others. Stop hiding from the flab. And I think this whole idea of stop hiding from the flab is really, I loved that because it made me get that this person felt that, you know what, it's time to actually, first of all, see it and know that I can do something about it. And now not just hide behind it, but actually be willing to do something about it. So I want an expanded mind rather than a fixed mind. and I don't remember who wrote that. If one of you wrote that, let me know. But I think when I read that the first time I read it, I thought, wow, that makes great sense. If I have a fixed image of who I am and I'm not able to expand it beyond who I think I am, then frankly, I'm going to end up just staying where I am. So that was great. I want to feel good about myself no matter how I look or the size of my jeans. And we started out the week saying to ourselves, let's just love ourselves right where we are. And that is extremely, extraordinarily important. And the size of jeans can change. And I know Jonathan Zenz wrote on here that he was so angry that he put on a pair of shorts in Kauai, which is where I'm flying off to in a few hours. But he put on these pair of shorts that were so tight they were uncomfortable. And he decided he was not going to buy a new pair of shorts because he just refused to buy a bigger size. But he said the option then is to just be uncomfortable for the rest of the weekend in these shorts that are like cutting off the circulation in my legs. So he did go out and buy a new pair of shorts. And when I get there, I'm going to actually ask him to see those shorts. And I love the shed the labels that have been put on me. And here's the thing about that. Who put the labels on us? You know, I mean, if we listen to what everybody else thinks of us, I'll tell you, if I listened to what everybody else told me about my body, I don't know what I would do, because so many people say to me, you're too skinny. My husband tells me you really should lay off that sugar. So who knows? You have to decide for yourself. So it's the labels we put on ourselves that matter mostly. So let's look at these words. Now, if none of you on the call today, if you didn't give me a word yet, go ahead and give me a word right now. A word that you have felt this week that actually described your body. But I want you to take a look at what I've done here. I've actually taken the word that many people gave and put the opposite across from it. So aging, youthful; sagging, firm; weak, resilient; protection, someone whose body, they see it as protection; free, vulnerable, strong; fit, out of shape; and fat, healthy. Now that's interesting, because the fit and the out of shape are in the wrong place. Vulnerable, strong; out of shape is supposed to be on the other side, and then fit, and then healthy on the other side, and fat. So it's funny. What did you say there? You said Rubenesque. Oh, I love that, Liana. Rubenesque. That's a good scene. Now that's a good image of what I always say. You know what? If Marilyn Monroe were born today, she'd be in OA. She'd be a movie star that didn't fit into the image of what they're supposed to look like today. But oh my God, back when she was around, she was like the image of what everybody wanted to look like. And Juana wrote Oi. Okay, that's a name. That's a word for your body. Oi. Bonnie, chunky. Chunky. Okay, so now our job is to take that word and what's the spiritual truth of it? And when I say spiritual truth, I don't mean some la la land, word that I can pretend I am. I mean, what's the opposite? What do you want? What is it that you really want? Because I think that's the important part to look at here. Okay, so Rubenesque, what would be that? Well, Rubenesque actually works for me in either column. You can say Rubenesque and mean that you're a little overweight, or you can say Rubenesque and mean I like the way I look. So that's up for you to decide, right? Fat, healthy. I'm not sure about that. Okay, so let's look at this next slide here. Early thoughts. Okay, so these are things that you guys have talked about. My weight causes me to be insecure. Yeah, I think we get too caught up in being insecure based on looks. That's number one. Body dysmorphic. I looked that up just to make sure I knew what I was talking about. And body dysmorphic is not really so much that, we have a strange idea of what we look like. It's really about focusing on a flaw. And I thought to myself, well, then I can fit into that at times where I focus on certain flaws. Thought patterns create body issues. Liana, I like being Rubenesque. Love the analogy. Okay, great. Just got a screen saying you'll end in 10 minutes until you upgrade. Oh, thank you, Juana. Oh, Connie's on the line. Connie, maybe you should upgrade. I thought we had 30 minutes. That's good. We will take care of that. Okay, thought patterns create body issues. Oh, this was actually something that came up because um, someone asked me, do thought patterns create body issues? Yes, they do. Not body issues. The mind creates body issues. Thought patterns create body experiences, and then we create issues around the experience, right? So, and then one of our participants wrote, a very handsome man as long as the shirts stay on. And that was talking about body scarring. And if you read his blog, he talked about how his body had a lot of scars on it from acne, and that, but they were mostly on his back, and that and he's a very handsome man, and to say, I look great so long as my clothes are on. It really does come a point where we have to be able to take everything off, just stand there naked in front of the mirror and the world, and say to ourselves, every scar on my body, I earned. Every scar on my body is part of what makes me who I am. Even if it's part of what makes me who I am and I don't like it, I can change that. So I just want to say, Eric, I know you wrote this on the blog and you were very forthcoming about it. Bravo to you for actually doing that and for being fearless enough to bring it up. Okay, some questions that have come up during this first week. Can we have the body we had in our 20s? Yes. That's really the answer. If every 7 years our body changes, and I still think that's just, even though it's scientific, I think we can accelerate that with our minds. Can we have the body we had in our 20s? I don't know that we all want the body we had in our 20s, but we can have a youthful body. We never have to be relegated to a body that is this age. So that's the answer. If your mind creates your experience, then the answer has to be yes. If I reach for the cookie jar, what are some of the beliefs behind that? I don't know. It can be a lot of beliefs. You can be reaching for the cookie jar because once a week you decide you deserve it, and that's no problem. But you could also be reaching for the cookie jar because you don't want to deal with what you're thinking about, or you have a problem you don't want to deal about. So you don't want to deal with. So it's up to you to really take the time and take the opportunity to ask the questions. That's what we were doing this week. Can I still attract someone in this body? I don't believe there's anybody or anybody who can't attract someone into their life, because the attraction comes from within. The law of attraction is really not about the body trap we put out there to trap someone into being interested in us. And we've all seen it, when our bodies, we let our bodies do the talking. But real attraction, real love, that comes from the inside. And when we attract from the inside out, then things come that are actually more substantive, I find. What is the difference between what we believe and what we think? Well, we think a lot of things, but the belief is the energy, the motor underneath those thoughts. How much belief you give a thought is what activates the thought, which causes the thought to demonstrate. So I think a lot of things, and if I demonstrated everything I thought, I would be schizophrenic. So the difference between what we believe and what we think is the power. Well, how much power is in it? If we believe all is good, how can any food be bad? I loved that question. If we believe all is good, how can any food be bad? Well, let's first start by saying no food is bad. There's no such thing as bad food. All there is your decisions. All there are your choices. Now, that said, if it's all good and it's all God, your experience of it is what makes it either less than or more than, destructive or constructive. It's just like God. I am God. All of me is God. But God comes in many shapes, forms, and experiences. So I can experience my God self at a very low level of joy, or I can experience my God self at a very high level of joy. I could eat really bad food and experience what that does to me. It's still God. And it's still good. Or I can experience a healthy meal and treat my body with respect and love, and then I live at a higher level. So it's not that we have to stop saying things are good and are bad. We have to be willing to say, you know what? No, it is all good. Now, what do I want to do? What level of good do I want to live at? Okay, beliefs. So during the week, we got into beliefs, and we talked about what these beliefs are and what they're doing for us. So I pulled out some from the blogs. Now, naturally, as you can see, I'm not answering everything that's come up on the blog. A lot of you agree with certain things. So I'm pulling out things that I think we all can look at and benefit from. I believe my cravings are uncontrollable. And I can be really sarcastic and just say, and so it is. To all of these, whatever you believe, that's what you get. But that's not what we're here to do. To just say, well, that's the way that is. No, because our beliefs are changeable. So to start with, I believe my cravings are uncontrollable. I think we have to really say to ourselves, you know, is anything really uncontrollable? No. How could anything be uncontrollable when it's your mind that controls everything? Your mind is controlling everything. So cravings are just indications that something's going on. And if you're willing to say, what do I need to know here? Then you're going to be a lot better off and you won't be giving into your cravings. Hard to lose weight after 40. There's a belief. I'm 61. Try hard to lose weight after 61, or hard to gain weight after 61. That's always been my dilemma. Food makes me feel better. And I know, Juana, this came from you. Food makes me feel better. And I get it. I get that food makes people feel better. But you know what? No, it doesn't. I get that we believe that. We have habits of using food to feel better. We have habits of using a lot of things to feel better, which is why there are 12-step programs for every single one of them. So the real question is, does food make me feel better, or is that a belief I have? For me, it's a belief. And so to say that I have to eat all these things because it's how I enjoy life, but if the results of that enjoying life are not beneficial, then there's something off. There is a habit or an addiction that's been created. So I can lose weight, but it will come back. Okay, I can see why a lot of you feel that, and a lot of people feel that, but the real question is, are you willing to lose the weight and not bring it back? And who's in control of that sentence? Can you sit in yourself and stand in your strength and say, I am losing this weight and I am done thinking that I can't. I am going to lose this weight and it's going to stay off because I'm actually going to just live a healthy life. And so take my focus off the weight. Take my focus off of all that. Let's just say to ourselves, I'm going to live a healthy lifestyle and it's not about my weight. That's really what I wanted to get clear this week for all of us. It's not about the diet. It's not about the weight. Is it about the food we eat? Only in so much as the food reflects what I'm believing and what I'm thinking. Any of my behaviors, the only thing that's important about those behaviors is that they get to show me what I'm believing, what I'm thinking. So I'm not in control of my mind when I'm stressed. We can just get rid of when I'm stressed and put an ellipse there and add whatever works for us. I'm not in control of my mind when I'm at work. I'm not in control of my mind when it's Christmas time, So forget about when I'm stressed, but yes, you are in control of your mind. And our job is to never give that away. Never give stress the power over me that when it comes, I'm out of control. Never give anything control over yourself. Never give a craving the control over you. Okay?